All right, what's going on Instagram? What's popping? What's good? What's happening? How's everybody doing? Um, it's pretty cool. What's up, man? What's good? What's happening? I'll take a second out to talk to you guys a little bit about spam. All right, we get right to it, man. There's a bunch of people on here. So, here's the deal, man. The internet, it's an incredible thing. I mean, it's sped up everything from information to what we're able to do just physically, in a shorter period of time. I mean, the bicycle is probably the greatest invention of all time because it helped, it changed the face of transportation, all right? And then after that came the car, came all the other stuff too, right? So let's talk about spam, kid. What's up, Al? So spam. So what's happened is this, right? Because of the speed of information today and the exchange of content and just the constant 24-hour, 7-day-a-week flow of media, spam is like at an all-time high, right? I get spam calls every day. I get email spam every day. And what we need to realize, right, just I guess like in the world of business or network marketing or anything that you're doing, is that, one of my mentors told me one day that high touch is always going to be more important than high tech. And it's just gotten harder and harder, man, to deal with high tech because there's so many people that believe in fake it till you make it. And what they're really here for is to waste your time. And so it's scary right now because time being your most valuable commodity, time being your most valuable asset, especially if you broke and you ain't got, much going on, you gotta really cherish your time and cherish your energy and cherish those components that if you feed into the world of social media and, everyone in your DMs and everybody emailing and everybody trying to get your attention, people are paying for this to get your attention, then it's so much easier for you to go and become a wanderer, somebody who just wanders. You wake up and you have all these goals, you have all these things that you want to get done in your life, but then you slip down the motherfucking black hole of bullshit that's on the internet, and it's like everyone's a TV host now, everyone's a model, everyone's, doing something stupid. The stupidest things are the ones that go viral the fastest, which is sad because at least if it was something productive, if it was teaching you something, if it was teaching you something about taxes or teaching you something about, commodities or teaching you something about interest rates, if they're teaching you something about finance, teaching you something about real estate, teaching you something, if you're paying attention to those things, then, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're learning something. There's a great new series right now on Amazon. It's called something, I forgot the exact name, but it's something like this beast we call the global economy or whatever. And I was watching, I kind of like binge watched it last night till pretty late, and it was pretty cool, man. It was talking about things from how people overseas money launder, which is crazy, but it really just went into industry, and then it went into the banking systems, then it went into the market crash that happened over in Cyprus and in Greece and why the banks crashed. It also, there was another episode that talked about the importance of rubber, and how the rubber industry is basically 90% of it right now is coming from Thailand. Like these things, man, that, it puts some fun facts in your head and also give you some ideas to trigger some, some innovation, man, trigger some action. But again, just going back to spam, there's two things, man. You're gonna deal with all the spam on the internet, and you're also, because of the internet, the reach of the spammers goes so much further. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many people reach out to me to waste my time. You wouldn't believe how many people message me, call me, text me, begging me for help, asking me for money, asking me for my time. I mean, honestly, I'd rather somebody ask me for money than fucking waste my time. Excuse my language, but it just is what it is, man. I mean, shit. I there's absolutely nothing that I dislike more in this world than somebody that wastes my time, because I could have either been doing something productive, or I could have been spending that time with my kids or my family or with people that I enjoy being around. So you got to learn how to do this, right? You got to learn how to put people that you meet, and even some active people in your life right now, man, just put them in your spam folder. You got to compartmentalize certain people, man. You got to put people in, okay, well, this is my dream chaser circle right here. All right, this is gonna be my how in secret, no, I'm sorry, how in Rich they talk about. This is gonna be my mastermind, my millionaire mastermind circle right here. All right, then over here, it's gonna be my, people I care about, people I love, people that I'm gonna carry on my back, circle over here no matter what. People that I'm gonna, enjoy their company unconditionally, people I'm gonna love unconditionally. Of course, you're always gonna want more for them, you know what I mean? But you're not putting that pressure on them because maybe they just don't want more, man. And everybody will. It's almost as if when somebody tells you, or many people won't admit that they just don't want more, right? Because it's almost as if putting a nail in the coffin. It feels a crappy thing, like to say I don't want more, But there's just some people that are like that. When they're around you, they're always gonna try to impress you, and either immediately over time, you'll read through it, you know what I mean? And you love them for it because they're trying to, connect with you. They're not trying to waste your time. But, you got to put them in that side over there, because you can't really talk to them about action-orientated things because they ain't about no action, right? And then you got that other circle of people that are just a waste of time, and I'm not trying to be brutal. I'm just trying to save you some heartache, trying to save you some, trying to save you time, man. If I'm saving you time, I'm gonna save you millions of dollars, millions. So those people, you can identify them as, this is a quick way to identify somebody who you should not be spending your time with, okay? One, maybe you just don't like being around them, right? And that's just is what it is. And I'm not saying that you have to be anti-social. I'm just saying that, those feelings are real. There's some people you just don't like being around. There's some people that you just don't get a good vibe off. Some people that are demotivating, so you don't want to spend no time around them. The second thing is you can't learn nothing from them. You can't learn anything. And I'm not saying that you have to be hanging around a Johnny Wimbrey or a Jay Peso. I'm blessed to call those guys my friends. Great people, amazing, producers, killers, grinders, world changers. But there are people that are not of that status just yet, that you can actually just hang out with and learn some stuff from. You know what I'm saying? Just be around them, learn some things, have a good quality conversation. I don't like talking about nothing. Maybe you catch me on vacation and we're just having fun because we're on vacation. And even when we're on vacation, we're still working, because all of the documentation, all the pictures, all the media, all that stuff that goes out, it's part of the marketing component of what I do. So take that. But get around people you can learn from, man. Get around people you like. The third one is get around people that you can build something with. Get around people that you can trust, that have integrity, that you can look at them and be like, what, man, like, yeah, I can put that person in charge. Or you know what? I wouldn't mind working for that person or with that person, or go on to an endeavor together. But if you're hanging around people and you sitting down and you looking around and you telling yourself, man, I don't even like this dude. I can't learn nothing from him, and I don't even trust him. Why are you there? Why are you there, man? You're disrespecting yourself by doing that. Let me tell you something, man. Like, The average person is only living until 75 years old. And to be real, like the first 25 years of my life, I want to say, the first quarter of my life out of these 3 quarters that the average person lives, we might go into overtime, all right? But the first quarter of my life, I lived it very fast. I lived it with not much thought into my rearview mirror. I lived it with, passion and bravado and, execution orientated. And there's absolutely nothing I would change about the first 25 years of my life. Absolutely incredible. Got me where I'm at right now. Created this life situation, which is seriously only the beginning. And I'm proud of it. But as I go a little deeper into the second quarter, which quite frankly I wasn't expecting to have so many great, amazing friends, amazing people, amazing family, and to be able to see my kids growing up, it's really cautioned me to keep up the same pace and that same energy, even though at times I've slowed up and softened up for people that I should have never done that for. So let me give you guys a tip, right? If you get around somebody and they make you feel like you gotta slow down or you gotta, turn your shit down a little bit so that they can feel better, get away from that person. 100% get away from that person. It don't matter, if they're further ahead of you in life or behind you in life or whatever it is, but there's certain people, man, that you get around them, and if they make you feel like you're doing too much, you going too hard, trust me, that person right there will be your Achilles heel. Trust me, get the fuck away from them. Get away from people like that. Don't give them no energy. Don't give them no routes. Don't pick up the calls. Don't answer the texts. Don't respond to them. Don't engage in those conversations, because a lot of those people are smart enough, or at least they sound smart enough to convince you that maybe you are going too hard because life is short. Maybe you are, making people around you feel uncomfortable because they can't catch up and you going too hard and you going through this, and not everybody can do this. And so you start to think to yourself, well, maybe if I act regular, the people around me will boss up. Nah, it don't work that way. So think about that, all right? If you're around somebody who makes you feel like you got to be lesser for them to feel equal, get away from them. Get away from them. The best thing you could do if you do care about this person is you inspire them to go reach up and to catch up and to get to whatever their next peak is, and if that peak is parallel with yours, then come on, man, more people are welcome. Let's do it, but if it's not, it is cool, man. There's nothing cooler than hanging out with a bunch of winners, especially even if you guys are in different routes, different journeys, different planes, but everybody's equally successful. It's a great circle to be in. It's a great place to be at. But all that other shit, shake that. Get away from it. Getting back to spam. You gotta learn how to put these people in your spam folder. Spam folder, all right? Here's another thing to identify when you're around just stuff, man. Just paying attention to your surroundings, paying attention to society, paying attention to human nature, paying attention to the economy, paying attention to the general trying to find the right word to describe, not just environment, but the general feel of the present time, I guess, is what I'm looking for, man. We live in a world right now where it is 1,000,000 times easier to produce. And it vexes me to see so many people blind to that fact because of all the spammy stuff on the internet. And so in the era where you can be the most productive that anyone has ever been able to be in the history of the planet, in this time right here, right now, where you can go produce and you can become anything that you want to become, you can do anything that you want to do, all the resources are out there, you don't do it because you're getting hit with spam and you're trying to live like somebody who's created a foundation that you haven't quite created yet, but you want to live like that, or you want to catch up to that, or you're being entertained by this, or whatever it is. And so you lock yourself into a consumption state and out of the production state. And so you spend 8 hours a day basically, you know, if you have a job or employment, I guess producing at that job or producing for that employer for a wage, and then you spend the other 16 hours of the day consuming, and you wonder why at the end of the week, month, or year, you ain't got nothing going on. So pay attention. Pay attention, man. Things are happening right now in lightning speed. Things are happening right now bigger, better, faster than they've ever happened before. And, you know, this era, this time right now that you got in your hands, it's never coming back. You know, the 5 minutes that just passed a little while ago, I'll never get those 5 minutes back. So if I'm going to be on live with you guys, I'm going to be on Instagram with you guys, and I'm going to be sharing these messages with you guys, I value those 5 minutes that I just spent with you, because I know that somebody's on here. A couple people are on here, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on my YouTube. I'm going to be a lot more active on my YouTube, just posting stuff on there, because the life expectancy of a video on YouTube is basically forever. And on Instagram, sometimes I share things that I believe are important, and you know, they kind of get lost because the live doesn't stay here forever. So I'm gonna start posting a lot of this stuff on YouTube, so that you guys can go ahead and watch them and replay them. I was on my YouTube the other day just looking at stuff, and I noticed that my oldest video on YouTube, it's about 10 years old or 11 years old, which is funny. And you know, it's right in line with, you know, who I am and what drives me, right? Especially at that time, right? So I started putting YouTube videos up when I was 21, 22 years old, and my daughter was an infant. She was born, and you know, the life I was living, the lifestyle I was at, I didn't think I was gonna have that long run, because I was doing a lot of crazy stuff. And thank God my daughter came along, and you know, things, you know, straightened up, and became this decent, incredible, you know, motivating individual. But during that time, I would record everything, and I would, you know, get as much videos and pictures and things that I could, because all of a sudden I had this kid, and I didn't want this kid to grow up and something happened to her father and her not know who her father was. So a lot of the social media stuff, it's not for clout, it's not for attention, it's not for because of boredom. It's because I want my kid, deep down, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, you know, I got a 4 terabyte drive with information on it, with pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff. And just want them to know who their father was, you know what I'm saying? Who their great-grandfather was, who their great-great-grandfather was, and all that stuff too. So it's important stuff. Yeah, man, producing and consuming. Pay attention to that. You know, look at your day, think about your day, right? And ask yourself, have I produced more today, or have I consumed more today? Because if you've consumed more than what you've produced for the day, you've taken the L, my friend. You've taken the L. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to put this on my YouTube, youtube.com/JuneZNYC, JUNEZNYC. And yeah, man, it's a lot of old videos on there. You guys will see a lot of old stuff. You know, I probably took like a 4 or 5 year gap where I wasn't posting things on there, because I was busy, and I was on Instagram, and I was on Facebook, and I was you know, getting to $1 million and more. So yeah, that's it, man. I hope you guys, I don't hope you guys got some value. I just hope you guys pay attention and start taking action. That's it. I believe that if everyone paid attention to the dream that's inside of them, and they actually went out there and pursued those dreams, there wouldn't be any of this other crap in the world. There wouldn't be, there wouldn't be a world star. There wouldn't be racism. There wouldn't be hate. There wouldn't be none of that stuff, because if all of us have a dream, the first thing that you're going to realize when you have that dream, if it's big enough, is that you can't do it by yourself. It's that you need people around you. You need to have a team. You need to have contacts. You need to have connections. You need to be a decent person. You need to be, all these things. But what happens is that people don't got no dreams, or they don't believe they can reach those dreams because they're spending too much time putting spam in their head instead of trying to figure out the way or the formula or the solution. And so what ends up happening is they find other forms of pastime that most of the time end up being destructive, because it takes a lot more energy to build something, a lot more mind power to go build something than it does to destroy something. You don't really got to think about breaking something or destroying something, but you definitely got to think about building something. So with that, I'll leave you guys there. Lock and load. Chase your dreams. It's Team No Sleep Forever. Here, then, now, and forever. So get yours.